Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Jonathan here from Storm. Storm provides a number of care services to the care sector, and it's a great delight to be here today. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you a brief resume training video for the duty of candour. You might be aware that the care regulations changed last year, and as a result of that, a duty of candour was brought about. So this short video is designed for care managers, registered managers, senior staff, and also staff. It can be played to them. If you ask a few questions at the end in terms of consolidation of the ideas and the themes, then that in itself is good evidence for CQC that you have trained them in duty of candour. So I'm going to use a flip chart here. We'll keep it fun, engaging, and we'll keep it short and sharp. But we look forward to working with you. So duty of candour. So what is duty of candour? Well, duty of candour, as I was brought in last year, actually it's been around for many years. Quite simply, it is about just being open and transparent. The Care Quality Commission, indeed local authorities and public sectors had been put in front and had huge amounts of scorn and criticism because they weren't suitably transparent. And when things went wrong, there was more emphasis placed on not admitting blame in order to try and mitigate the likes of claims. Whereas actually, if something clearly had gone wrong, where a pair of scissors or a bit of padding or whatever had been actually sewed up inside a person where clearly there had been a mistake, then like any organisation, you need to own up and admit that. So it's about transparency, and it's about just being open and honest. The model here is a model that we've devised, not particularly complex, but it's able to train staff. So what have we got here? So top left-hand corner is C. This is about, so what is duty of candour and what do we have to be looking out for? Then we've got the likes of the activation. When do we activate duty of candour and what are our requirements placed on us? Then the notification itself. There are 6 areas of notification or 6 areas that we must go through in terms of notifying and the activities associated with that. And then finally, a few do's and don'ts. So the letters C, A, N, D, as in do's and don'ts, it might assist in terms of briefing your staff. So first and foremost, what is duty of candour? Well, there's no great rocket science here. This is about just being open and honest when things clearly have gone wrong. It is not about apportioning blame, and it's not about sort of admitting legal liability. It is purely and simply about recognising when things have gone wrong in order to then say, right, we need to put this right, and apologies for that. There was a study done in 2001 by the University of Michigan Hospital, which in 2001 they decided to start owning up and apologising for accidents and incidents that happened in their hospital. Did you realise that the claims, so these are claims against the hospital, went down 45% over that period, which is phenomenal, and it just shows you that people just want an apology. So the actual claims which were processed against the hospital went down 45%, because at the end of the day, people don't always want money, they just want people to say, we messed up, so apologies for that. So there was a real emphasis now just to own up. Right, the activation. The activation does not occur when there's a near miss, and I think that's a fundamental and very important part. But the activation itself, when do we activate duty of candour? There are 3 occurrences. When there has been a death, which has resulted in the premature death, the early death of an individual, that is one, and it is being culpable and attributable to the actions or inactions of your organisation. So that's the first thing. It might be hospital-based, it might be trust-based, or it might be the quality of the care you've delivered, but it has reduced and certainly resulted in the death of a client or a resident. And it might be a slip, a trip, it might be a broken hip, or something like that. The next one then is if there has been permanent damage. So what do I mean by this? Is if a limb or the wrong kidney had been removed, that is permanent, you can't go back, and therefore that in itself would be an activation for this. The final one here would be as a temporary injury, such as a scalding or a laceration. It clearly isn't permanent, but it's temporary, and therefore there is there has been fault, and therefore that could be something which, again, the organisation just needs to hold their hands up and say, we are sorry. So that is the activation. Please note it is not activated on when you have a near miss. It is not near miss based. This one here now, so bottom right hand corner is the notification. What do we need to do to notify people in terms of what are the procedures? And this is the procedures now. The first one, the notification to the affected individual and the relatives, needs to be timely. So this is when you've clearly identified that there has been a problem, then there needs to be a timely resolution to that and notification that they have been put at risk, they have been harmed, and therefore the duty of candour has kicked in, but it needs to be timely. However, you need to make sure that you have the information at hand to you. The next one is that the notification must be in person. So this can't be delivered by letter or letter under the door, it must be in person. In addition, it must also include an account of the incidents that you believed happened. So this happened, followed by this happened, and then nurse or support worker X then did the following. So there needs to be some sort of chronology to it, and also in terms of actual sequence. There needs to be then an understanding and explanation of the process that is now going to be followed. So there's going to be an internal investigation, there's then going to be the following findings are then going to be sought, and then there is going to be a presentation of the findings to you, the individual. There then needs to be an apology. An apology in itself needs to be heartfelt, sincere, and delivered with compassion and understanding. And then finally, there needs to be a written account given to that individual in order for them to put their own records, but also that there has been a written account of the incident, but also that there has been a following of the duty of candour regulations. So just to recap, it must be timely, must be in person, must also be an account of what has happened, it must describe the progress, there must be an apology, and finally there must be a written account. Finally, we're now on to do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts really are quite simple. So in terms of do's, please make sure it is timely. Please make sure that you have all the information available. Please make sure, don't, so one of the don'ts is certainly don't front up and explain something which you still have incomplete information. That is not what it's about. Just make sure the information is comprehensive, but you're not going to wait till every final piece is there. Certainly 80%, 90% of what went on. It must provide meaningful support, and that's to the individual affected, clearly. You've got a duty of care to them, but also to your staff that might be deeply affected by the incident or accident, particularly of a death or very sort of permanent affliction or injury has occurred. And there must be an explanation of what happened in terms of if you're going through this and explaining. Ladies and gentlemen, that is duty of candour. It is very brief. It's only designed to be a brief teaching and a training tool. If there's anything else that you feel that Storm could assist with, then please get in touch. We deliver numerous courses across the UK in care compliance and CQC compliance. We have a great deal of fun. We have a great office of staff here, and it'd be great to get to know you. So please share this, send it on. If you get your staff to see this, then please record that, and it means it's good evidence for CQC. If you want to get in touch with us, it's Storm Consultancy UK, stormconsultancyuk.com, or you phone the office on 0845 862 0228, and I'll see you very soon. So take care, keep safe, keep smiling, and we'll see you very soon. Many thanks. Bye then.